Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. Are you stuck in the corporate rat race, worrying about layoffs, and longing to take control of your destiny? This is the place for frustrated executives like you who want to escape the grind, live life on your own terms, and build wealth. Whether you're ready to make a full transition into franchise ownership or want to start building a side business along your corporate job, Pete guides you every step of the way. He'll talk about how to create career and income security, diversify your assets and income, and live life on your own terms. Your path to controlling your own destiny starts now.
Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. My name is Pete Gilfillan. I'm an entrepreneur. I am the best-selling author of the book Hire Yourself, nationally recognized franchise consultant, and a proud corporate escapee. You know, my mission in life is to help executives take control of their destiny, to live life in their own terms, and to build wealth. That's my mission. And I'm set out to help as many as I can. That's why I wrote the book Hire Yourself. That's why I get up every day, is to help people live life on their terms. Now, when we talk about this idea of being an executive, being an employee, you know, you have to be prepared. And the question I want to answer today, because I'm always trying to answer a question, is how do we prepare for an unexpected or a planned career transition? You know, we all have been watching the news, and there's more and more layoffs as we speak. And as we think about this idea of transition, sometimes transition comes with a planned event. Like, I decide to leave the corporate world and I want to invest in a business and just go do that, right? So it's kind of on my terms. But unfortunately, we see a lot of unexpected transition happening, where all of a sudden you come into the office and your boss pulls you aside and says, "Hey, listen, we want to let you know that today's your last day. We're going a different direction, or we've decided to eliminate positions," right? Or we're furloughing you. Bottom line is that's an unexpected. That drives emotion. And although I left my first corporate gig, Ford Motor Company, I was shocked by kind of being put in a position to have to make the decision to transition. What I mean by that is that I was a senior level executive running a very large organization for Ford. And I was back in the day in a staff meeting with my team members. And I got called out of my staff meeting, and I took a call from my boss, and he offered me a voluntary separation package. And I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I'd been getting top performing reviews. I'd been doing outstanding, but yet they offered me the opportunity to leave Ford. And I went home and talked to my wife, and we decided, after a lot of contemplation, that we're going to take the buyout. And I went out and decided to go take control of my destiny. And so that was something that drove a lot of emotion. And so sometimes when we get put into the position of involuntary or pushed into career transition, it can invoke a lot of emotion. And so we have to understand that's just part of it, is kind of getting comfortable that, hey, listen, it doesn't matter why we're going into transition, but we're going into transition. And the next step is really start educating yourself. Start doing the research on all your options. Like, I took 6 months to explore all my options. I looked at existing businesses. I looked at starting consulting business. I looked at existing businesses, and I looked at investing in franchises. I did my homework. I read articles. I went to websites. I followed influencers. I followed a lot of information, and I started looking at all my different options. So it's really important that you're out there educating yourself. And the idea behind this is that you can never get enough information. You want to be learning about your different options, and then more importantly, starting to evaluate those. So again, I looked at a lot of information, talked to a lot of people. And then I think also, as we go into transition, you know, we're educating ourselves, and we also have to have this idea of hope. We have to be in a good position. We have to be in the right mindset. You know, you're not deserving of from a standpoint, you're not entitled, I guess would be the best way to say it. You're not entitled to that next position. You have to go into this with a mindset that, hey, listen, you did an exceptional job in the corporate world, and you want to earn another opportunity, or you want to earn your next, whatever you're going to do. And this starts with being of mindset of being positive. And I think a little bit about when I was going through it, and it's something that I always believed in, is always having a mindset of gratitude. So I do gratitude journaling, I do gratitude affirmations. I always prioritize self care. When I left the corporate world, I started working out more. I started eating right. I might lowered my blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. So, as we're going through and we have this hope or this energy of going into the transition or being involved in the transition, we want to kind of reflect also on our skills. What do we bring to the table, whether it's a business we're investing in or another corporate position? And then ask for support. So I had a career coach that helped me through the process. I had a franchise consultant helping me explore franchise business opportunities. I had a company helping me look for existing businesses. But I always had this mindset of gratitude. I always was reflecting upon what it took to kind of get to the next level. And then you have to set realistic expectations, like this idea that I'm going to find another job in a month, or I'm going to start a business and it's going to replace my $300,000 a year corporate job in the first year. It just doesn't happen. We have to be realistic in regards to the timeline. We have to be realistic in terms of the finances. So when I decided to leave the corporate world and just flat out be engaged in a franchise business, an executive model full time, I realized that it was going to take some time to replace my corporate level income. So I looked at the investment in the business. I had the money to invest in the business. I also set aside money. I called it the two bucket strategy, where I set money aside in a second bucket that covered our living expenses. So I could pay the mortgage, I could feed and clothe my kids. Now, when I looked at the cost, I looked at both buckets, the cost of investing in the business, getting it started, as well as the bucket to offset my expenses while I was building the business. You see, this was an investment in my future, allowing me to take control of destiny, to live life on my own terms, and to certainly put myself on a path to build wealth. And I can say now for sure that basically, call it 16 years later, I am in control of my life. I am blessed. I get up every day, and my life is about helping take control of destiny, live life in your own terms, and to build wealth. So I work with executives all the time that they're looking to do those things. And I get to put all my time and energy into helping people. I don't have to sit through senseless meetings. I don't have to have artificial objectives. I don't have to jack around the boss. I put all my power and my energy into helping others every day. And I find that to be very rewarding. So if you are getting pushed into transition, you have to make sure that you kind of take the time to process this, right? Number two is that you have to kind of have this mindset of, hey, listen, I'm going to educate myself. I am going to also have a great mindset going into this transition of gratitude and understanding that it takes some time. It takes some capital from that standpoint. And then you have to plan to succeed. And I learned this from Darren Hardy and Tony Robbins, this idea, and they use the term burn the boats or burn the bridges, that's not going back. And I'll just give you my simple example of having this plan to succeed. I put together a business plan. My wife did not want us to invest in business. She thought having a business was more risky than having a corporate job. We debated that. Ultimately, she allowed me to invest in a business. And when we started out the business, every day she'd come in and into my office and say, hey, is the business going to make it? Are we going to make it? And I said, listen, you got to quit asking the question. I will be successful. I have a plan. I will work that plan no matter what. We're not going backwards. We will be successful. And that is about having, kind of a financial plan, a business plan, and then basically going out there and executing that plan with there's no going back. We're taking the hill. We're burning the boats, burning the bridges. It's an old acronym, but it's a really good one when we talk about launching a business. And then when we launch a business, leveraging people, having employees allows us to grow. And we want to make sure that we're hiring the right people, the right team, surrounding ourselves, I like to say, A players. So bottom line is that we can get thrown into transition or we can put ourselves in transition. We have to make sure we educate ourselves. We look at all the options, have a positive mindset, put a plan in place that is realistic, and then go out there and have a mindset that, hey, we will be successful. No matter what, we're burning the bridges, we're burning the boats, we will go forward, we will be successful with the business. If you're getting put in a career transition, or you're thinking about, hey, listen, I can't take it anymore, that's what I do. I work with executives every day, again, that want to take control of their destiny, to live life on their own terms and build wealth. And so if you just want to have a quick conversation, you can tell me a little bit about what you're thinking, what's important to you, what you'd want to accomplish if you were investing in a business. And also, I'll tell you a little bit about my free service that I can help you explore business opportunities. So with that, if you like what you heard today, I encourage you to subscribe, click like. Bottom line is, I love the opportunity to speak with you, to learn a little bit more about you, and to help you explore business opportunities.
Thanks for joining us on the Hire Yourself podcast. Pete's here to help you break free from the corporate rat race, take control of your destiny, and finally live life on your own terms. Whether that's jumping into franchise ownership full-time or starting it as a side hustle. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a fellow frustrated executive, and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Ready to start building your bridge to freedom? Visit hireyourself.com for resources, insights, and a clear path forward. Until next time, take charge, build your future, and live life on your own terms.